Hello and welcome to Graphics in DCG here at Skullver in Cantor. My name is Ruben Dowling. I'm going to be taking you on a quick tour of these two subjects. Towards the end of the video, I'm running a prize for prospective graphics students, and there is going to be a prize for a voucher of €50. More on that later. So straight into it. Graphics is studied at junior cycle level. So first year, second year, third year, you study graphics. Then at leaving cert level, so fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, you can study DCG. DCG stands for Design and Communication Graphics. So it's the kind of next level up from graphics. That subject can lead you on to a career. So if you want to go into career in engineering, so it could be aeronautical engineering, in aerospace, designing airplanes, could be mechanical engineering or electronic engineering. Maybe you're interested in becoming a tradesperson, so a builder, a carpenter, an electrician, a plumber, or perhaps you're interested in design. So you want to design maybe interior design, fashion design, architectural design, or maybe even technology. You want to be designing laptops. You want to be like Steve Jobs maybe, or Dermot Bannon. These subjects are great for those careers. So graphics, whereas it fits in with the rest of the subjects or some of the other subjects in the school, is applied technology and wood technology are part of the technology suite of subjects. So a lot of the things done in graphics are done in applied technology and wood technology as well. So there's freehand sketching, there's 2D drawing, 3D drawing. They lend themselves quite well to those subjects in particular, but they're also very beneficial to the science subjects, to the math subjects, any of the subjects really. Graphics is of course a language of its own. It's a way of communicating that anybody can understand. So the subject itself, made up of three main elements. We have 2D graphics, 3D graphics, and applied graphics. 2D graphics. Here's an example of that. We have here in this case a frying pan. So I have a front view here, I have a side view, and I have a top view of the frying pan. This is a 2D representation. So you can imagine an awful lot of plans. If I want to make something, if I wanted to submit plans for something to someone who's going to manufacture it, I'd be giving them orthographic projection drawings, just like this 2D drawing. 3D graphics then, as you can imagine, are drawings that look like they're 3D. So I've got a couple of 3D graphics here in this sheet. There's also some 2D graphics here as well, but 3D graphics then, drawings that look like they're three-dimensional drawings. So there is some drawing, but there's also, for 3D graphics, we do quite a bit of computer-aided design now as well at junior cycle level. So we'll be using computer programs like SolidWorks and Onshape to make computer-aided designs. So we'll be making things on the computer. We can use these two elements then to apply graphics. So for the third element, applied graphics, we take 2D graphics and 3D graphics and we look at an object, an everyday object, and we apply our knowledge of 2D and 3D graphics to represent that object. So what we're going to do now is some actual applied graphics. That's the type of thing that my students are doing at the moment. And for you at home, what I'd like you to do, get yourself a piece of paper and a pencil. There's going to be a prize. So what I'm going to do is put up my email address here. You can follow along what we're about to do. So we're going to be making a sketch. And the best sketch is going to win a prize for a €50 voucher. So the best drawing I see, send it in to me, to my email address, and I will be getting back to you with the winner of the prize. So, what I've got here is, I'm sure most of you can recognize it, a PlayStation controller. Now, it's only a PlayStation 4 controller. I'm a bit behind the times, but I'm doing my best. This controller, quite a complicated thing, I would say. If I was to go in and make this now, I think I'd have my work cut out from it. There's a lot of things going on with it. It's quite a complicated shape, for one thing. But my graphics cap is on now. My head is on. I'm thinking from a graphical point of view. I'm looking at this thing. And I'm saying, I'm not looking at it as a controller, as one object. I'm looking at all the different elements that make it up. And I'm seeing parallel lines here and here. We've got parallel lines, so parallel lines are lines that go on and on and on. They never meet. I've got cylinders, like a tin of beans, a cylinder. There, for the buttons. I've got another cylinder here and here for the joysticks. That's just based on a cylinder. These grips here, they're based on, it looks like kind of like a U shape or a horseshoe shape maybe. But I know that that shape's not actually a horseshoe shape. It's a shape called a parabola, which sounds complicated, but it's pretty straightforward. It's basically a horseshoe shape. So with those there's three kind of main things happening here. Parallel lines, a couple of cylinders, and a couple of horseshoe shapes. Horseshoes, let's call them horseshoes, a parabola. And that's all I need to know to draw this. So there's three kind of pieces of geometry here. So look, I'll start off with my parallel lines. Parallel line, that's the back of the controller, that's the front of it. And then I'll draw, if you look around the buttons here, around the X, triangle, square and circle buttons, there's a circle there, and there's a circle around this as well. You can see it there in that light, there we go. You can really see that circle there around the buttons. So look, I just draw a circle here at either end. Now, freehand, I'm not using a compass to do this now, I'm just kind of rough and ready, not too fussy about it. It's not the perfect circle. It doesn't matter. I'm not even going to rub it out. Rub out the bits that I don't like. I'm just going to leave it rough and ready. Then I can see I've got these kind of horseshoe shapes, these parabola, attached to those two circles, kind of stemming from them. So I can stick them in here. They kind of go out at a bit of an angle. There we go, there's one. And here's the other one over here. Out at a bit of an angle, just like that. There we go, they're roughly, I could draw a line between them, and that line would be parallel to these two lines. Right? So there's another little parallel line here, an imaginary. Straight away, that's very quickly now. I've got kind of the rough shape. If you were to look at that, you'd say, that kind of looks like a PlayStation controller. So let's bring it up a couple of levels now. Let's add some more details. So let's add these couple of cylinders here around the joysticks. Add them in. Again, rough and ready. I'm not being fussy about this at all. I'm going to make those look kind of three-dimensional now. So to draw a cylinder, maybe I forgot to say this, you draw an oval shape. Drop two lines down off of it, like that, and then draw another little oval down here. There we go. There's a cylinder drawn. I'm moving shading there now, make that look a bit more realistic if I wanted to, but that's fine. So that's what I'm going to do down here. I'm going to draw these cylinders. So here I'm just drawing in the buttons. They're also based on cylinders. And then I'm going to go on and add in a couple of more little features here, like the touchpad, the PS button, and then do a little bit of shading here. So I'm looking at areas that are darker, just as it sits in front of me on the desk. If it's dark on the table, then I shade it in my drawing. Once I've all the kind of key features in on the drawing, then I'm going to add in the finer details. So the kind of the nitty-gritty little bits and pieces, the fine details, and they really make the drawing kind of come together towards the end. The shading, then again, I'm shading a little bit of kind of the background now. I'm making the drawing come out of the page a small bit by adding some background shading. Thank you very much for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Hopefully, I'll meet a few of you at least in person in the future. Until then, thanks again. See you later.